In the deafening silence of a lonely night, there's something far more sinister than just solitude. Picture a quaint, quiet town on the brink of slumber. The moon hangs low in the sky, casting long, creeping shadows that seem to play tricks on the eyes. The usually bustling streets are now deserted, save for the occasional whisper of wind rustling through the trees. There's an uncanny stillness, an unsettling quiet that hangs heavy in the air. Our protagonist, new to this seemingly peaceful town, can't shake off a sense of dread that clings to the calm. The whispers of the wind seem to carry unheard stories, tales of a local legend that sends chills down the spine of even the bravest. A legend, they say, that comes alive in the stillness of the night. Beneath the surface of tranquility, something waits in the darkness. Every town has its secrets, its tales whispered in hushed voices. Our town is no different. The heart of our town throbs with an eerie rhythm, echoing a timeless legend, a tale of a spectral entity, a haunting phantasm, shrouded in the cloak of the night. This is no mere campfire story spun to scare children. No, this narrative has been passed down through generations, woven into the fabric of our community, imprinted on the psyche of every resident. Our town's chronicle speaks of a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, waiting for the stillness of the night to descend. It is said that the entity is neither human nor beast, but something born from the shadows, a creature of the night that feeds on fear and revels in the terror it instills. There have been incidents, chilling occurrences that have sent shivers down the spines of the bravest. A midnight stroll turning into a nerve-wracking chase. A serene night shattered by a blood-curdling scream. A quiet house suddenly filled with inexplicable whispers. These are not isolated incidents but a sinister pattern, each event tied to the legend, each one feeding the fear that grips our town. But it's not just the fear of the unknown that holds the town in its icy grip. It's the dread of the familiar turned strange. The fear that the ordinary can, in an instant, become extraordinarily terrifying. The realization that the entity could be lurking anywhere in the shadowy corner of your room, in the flickering candlelight, or in the reflection of a moonlit window. The legend has long since ceased to be a mere story. It has become a living, breathing part of our town, its presence felt in every whisper of the wind, every rustle of the leaves, every shadow that dances in the moonlight. And tonight, our protagonist finds himself staring into the abyss of the unknown. Fear, like a living entity, will stalk him, whispering chilling tales in his ear as he ventures into the heart of our town's haunting legend. When darkness descends, the line between reality and nightmare blurs. As the unseen veil between day and night falls, our protagonist finds himself in an uncanny situation. A chill runs down his spine, not from the cold but from a sense of dread that he can't quite put his finger on. He's not alone, though he wishes he were. In the dim light, he senses a presence, an entity that does not belong in his familiar surroundings. It's not a creature of flesh and bone, but something far more elusive and disconcerting. His heart pounds like a war drum in his chest, a primal rhythm that drowns out all other sounds. His eyes dart around trying to catch a glimpse of the intruder, but it remains unseen, its form blending into the shadows. His mind races, grappling with the surreal reality unfolding before him. Is he dreaming, or has he stepped into a realm where the rules of the natural world no longer apply? Fear is a funny thing. It confuses you, it distorts your perception, and above all, it makes you question the world around you. The air grows heavy, oppressive, like the weight of 1,000 unseen eyes watching him. Every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside, amplifies his fear. He feels the entity drawing closer, its unseen form casting an icy chill that makes his breath fog up in the air. But human instinct is a powerful force. He fights the urge to flee, his curiosity piqued. What is this strange entity? Why is it here? His mind is a whirlwind of questions, his fear now mixed with a burning need to understand. His breath comes in ragged gasps as he takes a step forward, reaching out to the unknown. The suspense hangs in the air like a thick fog, the silence deafening. He's on the edge, teetering between the known and the unknown, between sanity and madness. In the face of the inexplicable, one can only question their sanity. His encounter with the strange entity is just the beginning. A prelude to a night that promises to be anything but ordinary. A fear, they say, is a powerful motivator. For our protagonist, it was a call to action. Our hero, driven by dread and curiosity, dives headlong into an investigation of the elusive entity that has begun to haunt his nights. The town, once familiar, now holds secrets that whisper in the wind, secrets that might hold the key to understanding the nightmarish apparitions that lurk in the shadows. Armed with a determination as sturdy as iron, our protagonist starts to peel back the layers of the town's history. He delves into the lore that has been passed down through generations, the tales whispered around campfires and in the corners of hushed taverns. Each story seems to carry a fragment of truth, a piece of the puzzle he so desperately needs to solve. The town's history unfurls before him like a weathered scroll, revealing a tapestry of tales steeped in mystery and dread. The legend of the entity takes on a life of its own as he uncovers details that send chills down his spine. Stories of a spectral presence that has haunted the town for centuries, of a curse that has sunk its claws deep into the town's very soul. The suspense continues to build as he stumbles upon an old diary, its pages brittle with age. The diary belonged to an ancestor of his, a man who, it seems, had also encountered the entity. The entries are filled with fear and confusion, mirroring his own experiences. The ancestor's desperate attempts to understand and combat the entity echo our protagonist's current struggle, creating a chilling parallel that sends a shiver down his spine. But every answer only deepens the mystery, drawing him further into the labyrinth of fear. The more he discovers, the more questions arise. The entity is more than just a specter, it's a conundrum wrapped in an enigma, a riddle that refuses to be solved. Yet our protagonist remains undeterred, his resolve steeled by the terror that grips him. He must face his fears or be forever trapped in this nightmare. The investigation continues, leading him closer to the heart of the horror. In the heart of darkness, our protagonist stands ready to face the unseen. This confrontation, a culmination of fear and bravery, is not a choice but a necessity. For in the depths of the night, when the unknown becomes known, the true test of courage begins. Imagine the protagonist, who once was a mere observer of the legend, now the main player in this spectral drama. The entity, an unseen adversary, is shrouded in mystery and darkness. The protagonist, armed with nothing but resolve, steps into the abyss, ready to challenge the entity. The suspense is palpable, like a heavy fog that engulfs the scene. It's a game of cat and mouse, where the stakes are not just high, they are existential. The protagonist calls out to the entity, their voice a beacon in the profound darkness. A silence follows. A silence so deep it feels like the world is holding its breath. And then, a response. It's not a sound, but a feeling. A cold shiver that runs down the spine. The entity is near. The protagonist doesn't falter, doesn't step back. This is the moment of truth, the climax of their fear and their courage. The entity, no longer a legend but a reality, is confronted. The protagonist stands their ground, challenging the entity, inviting it to reveal itself. The confrontation unfolds like a dance, a macabre ballet of fear and courage. Every move, every word, every silence is a step closer to the truth, to the revelation of what lies in the darkness. The protagonist, once fearful, now stands strong, a testament to human spirit. And as the confrontation reaches its peak, a realization dawns. The protagonist isn't just confronting an entity, but their own fear. It's not just a battle against an unseen adversary, but a battle against the unknown, the fear of what lurks in the shadows. In the end, it isn't the darkness we fear, but what it conceals. And in confronting the entity, the protagonist hasn't just faced their fear, they've embraced it, they've owned it. Because in the heart of darkness, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. When dawn breaks, the shadows retreat, leaving behind only the remnants of fear. The town, once plagued by the unknown, now breathes a sigh of relief, the morning sun casting long shadows that hold no terror. The protagonist, forever changed, is no longer the person they were before the night fell. The experience has made them stronger, wiser, and perhaps a touch more cynical. The townsfolk too have transformed. They've witnessed the unimaginable, the stuff of legends, and have come out the other side. The whispers of the incident still linger in coffee shops, in hushed conversations, and in the quiet moments before sleep. A sense of unease remains, a reminder of the night when reality blurred with the supernatural. There's a sense of resolution, yes, but also a sense of uneasiness. There are unresolved elements, questions left unanswered, threads left hanging. The story may be over, but the legend lives on. For now, the town sleeps again, but remember, in the silence of the night, something always waits.